ring around the fog lights down there. These are mine, just there in matte black. Getting them close up side by side I think is just amazing. They are the same colour. I know one's getting bombarded by the sun a bit more than the other, but they are the same colour. Let's kind of get into the shade a bit more here. Let's look at the differences. I mean, the wheels, I think these are going to be 20-inch wheels if I remember correctly. Let's just look at the tyres. Right, let's go around the back and just sort of compare the light details on these cars, because I do like what they've done with flowing in the lines of the rear brake lights with the rear spoiler. It's a very nice touch, you can see there, very nice styling touch there. There we go, these are the rear arches. Before I was actually going to make this video, I thought I'd come away saying, you know what, the 987 Gen 2 is just the better looking car, but getting them both up side by side, I mean, I'm really not so sure now. As you can see on the 981, we've got a rear windscreen wiper, which would come in handy. I mean, the interior is a better looking interior. I mean, that's not a doubt. I guess the question is what's important to you, because this Cayman S, the 981, probably sold for about £15,000 more than the price of my car. So let's get a better look at these rear tail lights. Look at that. I mean, it is very nice how they've got that contour to flow into the rear spoiler. Very nice indeed. The air vents here actually come up. They're actually on the dash, as you can see there. As you can see on the 987 Gen 2S, the air vents are subtly different. You've got that for the front window, then the passenger one, much smaller ones over there. Now let's look at the rear of the cars. We can see on the 987 Gen 2 Cayman S, in terms of reversing lights, we've just got those built into the rear clusters on the left and the right. There is nothing in the centre of the car. If we go along over to the 981, you'll see that they've actually got a reverse light built into the rear spoiler. Nice little touch there. There you go. I didn't realise that before. And yeah, it looks like they've thought, you know what are the minor tweaks we could do to the car just to give it that extra edge. Let's look at that rear roof line, because if I can get the right shot for you here, I do love how that rear roof line just curves down. I think they've got more of a flowing line here. It could even be a combination of the arches, to be fair. So you have a look at that rear profile where the rear windscreen just tapers down, and we'll have a look over here to the 981. You'll see it's much more of it's a filled out curve, much more sort of reminiscent of a 911. You can just see that rear line. It's probably, you know what it is? It's probably this rear lip edge. So we've got this, they've got this ridge along the rear panel there around the windscreen. You can see there, this is sort of the ridge that I'm talking about there. And I think that fold might be, well, that crease might be much less of a crease. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So if you look at the rear windscreen now, the panel alongside the rear windscreen, that creased edge is gone. They've really sort of smoothed it out now. Such subtle differences in the design of a body, and it's amazing how the smallest of differences can actually be picked up by the human eye. Yeah, that's exactly what I couldn't quite put my finger on it until just now. It's where the rear boot lid meets the rear quarter panel. There you go. It's pretty much a smooth flowing piece of panel work. We'll come over again just to show you on the 987 Gen 2S. Look at that. Just look at that crease along there. There you go. I rather like that, to be fair. Side air intakes, keep the engine cool. There's you can see that's the standard 987. Not much change from the Gen 1. And there we go, look at that. That's a much bigger scoop, you know. It's got much more depth to it as well. It would actually make cleaning easier, which would be a plus point for me, because it is quite an intricate thing to get your brush into. So I do like that air intake. Door handles, there we go. It's it's a sleeker profile you can see on that. If we look at the wing mirrors, there you go. And look at that. Now, I'm not sure which is the most aerodynamic. It looks like the one on the 987 Gen 2 is, with that scoop in the middle to let air go through, whereas that's kind of missing on this one. Well, let's do the lower air intake. So here we go. You'll see it's got two radiators. One on the left, it's kind of got a blocked out panel in the front. Yeah, that is fully blocked out, in fact. So there's no airflow that's going to go in there. And in fact, you can tell the way that's sculpted is to push airflow into the left and right radiators. So that's the design of this plastic insert in the center. And over here, it's going to got a slightly different design. It's probably aiming to do the same thing. Well, see, if you look over here, there's no way air can go left or right. So this insert is actually completely solid without the ability to direct any airflow. That is just a solid piece of plastic. So the only way air is going to get into the radiators is by being pushed in from the sides over there and over there. And what you can see they've done over here, this air is going to be coming in here, it's going to flow through there, and it's going to be fed into the left and the right radiators. So no doubt there's probably more airflow going through this car. They've got the same engine, so I'm not entirely sure why they've had to increase the airflow. Maybe there's something that they are aware of. If I had the choice, which one would I get? Well, we'll come back to that one. Let's look at these front arches, because once again they're more flared on the 981. It's a bit like that rear boot panel crease. You can see here, it's really flared up, a bit like those old classic 911s where they've kept those sort of left and right tunnels where the lights go around. Whereas here on the 987, they've smoothed off those lines. It's probably more aerodynamic. I'll look up the drag coefficients later, so I'll try and put that up on screen. Hopefully there should be an overlay now. Drag coefficient of the Cayman 981 S versus the 987 Gen 2. I'll tell you one thing, you know they say the 4 cylinders not that big a deal, some people say that. I'm telling you, it's a massive deal. I mean, can you hear that induction noise? You know, the engine is such an amazing thing in this car, I tell you. It's 80% soul, 20% mechanical engineering, and you take that flat 6 away from you, it's beautiful. I feel like I'm the conductor of an orchestra with all these different parts under my control. 3 pedals, steering and everything. It's a great feeling. So for me, for sure, 6 cylinders the way to go. Great looking cars. Come on, let's get inside them. Let's get inside the 981 first, because actually no, let's do the 987. So here we go. Now, if the comment is that this is a basic interior, I'm probably going to say you're a bit spoilt, because it's a sports car. It's not a Bentley Continental. You know, it's not supposed to be, plush leather car. Big piled carpets, loads of switchgear. For me, this car is perfectly adequate. However, that's not to say the 981 has got a more up-to-date interior. It has, I don't doubt it. But if anyone's going to say this interior is not up to scratch, well, I think you're just being picky, to be honest. There's the door cards. In fact, that's one thing I noticed on the 981 straight away. The door just had that sort of more of a German car feel to it. This, I would say, has got the sports car interior. Notice that I've got 3 pedals and not 2. Steering wheel's worth pointing out, so have a look at that. It sort of does the job. But you'll see in the 981, I do prefer the 981 steering wheel. So that's pretty much the cabin interior. We've got the same colour choices of leather interior, so you'll see that's the sports seats we've got over here with plastic backing. That's a view into the back rear shelf. There you go. The sports seats are great, really supportive and comfortable. Let's rock on to the 981. There we go. So let's start with the door card. There we go. it's kind of got that Mercedes sort of BMW. You'll see it's got programmable seats. It's got the same colour leather interior. Let's get the backings of these. Okay, it's not plastic back, it's leather backed in this case. Here's the shot over. So this looks higher to me. It's got a higher ridge over to the back. It's got a different bar along the top. I've got a metal one. Let's just quickly get that for comparison purposes. There you go. So you'll see over here, I've got a little metal bar, small and functional, does the job. There's no sort of raised edge. It's pretty much a level clearance over to the rear parcel shelf. If you come over here, you'll see that they've raised it up here, and they've got a longer bar along the top. So actually, to me, it looks like the rear windscreen visibility is probably less in the 981. Let's quickly compare that. Yeah, I mean, there's probably not a great deal in it, but I'd probably say you get a bit less out the rear windscreen. Not that that's that important, because we're going to be spending most of the time looking forwards, but there you go. And the headliner seems to extend a little bit further out there as well. But here we go. I mean, look, this is what everyone talks about. That, if you're sitting in this seat, the driver's seat, you're just in mission control. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is a great centre console, without a doubt. Look at the buttons. So this, I don't have that. You've got the sports exhaust. You've got the button to lift up the spoiler over there. Got a sports button. I will not disagree. This interior is very nice. Very nice indeed. There you go. You've got flappy paddles. It's a great car, you know. What can I say? You get a little Cayman S illuminated there on the instrument cluster, which I don't get. And you'll see here, you've got the air vents now facing, well, they'll blow into your face, and you've actually got the ones that will aim that a bit higher over there. So yeah, I mean, oh, look, and yeah, let's have a look at the cup holders. So over here on mine, you'll see these are the famous Porsche cup holders. So as you can see, one for the left, one for the right. It's plastic, it's functional. It's kind of like a matte plastic effect there. What they've done, I could see, is it's a gloss plastic. Right, there we go. So look at this. There we go. I mean, that is pretty plush. It's got a soft close hinge. Wow. Okay, so yeah, you know what? The hinge on this, yeah, it's hard to explain if you're not actually using it yourself, but it's like the soft close toilet lid. It's got a much better feel to the switchgear. Yeah, you know what? It's a great car. I'm actually pretty confused. I'll have to think about this overnight and actually say, if I could have either one handed to me, you know, free of charge without any money, which would I pick? I actually thought that would be a no-brainer, but yeah, you know, two great cars there, you know. 981 Cayman S, 987 Gen 2. What I wanted to show you was how you can see they've sort of upgraded the plastic areas in here. So this is what I was referring to. If you look at the wiper blades and the plastic panelling around here, and that's where you fill up the windscreen washer, you know, it does the job, nice and functional. If you have a look at what they've done over here, it just look. I mean, I really do like what they've done with the inserts here. I'm not sure where the battery cover is in this place, because I'm guessing this front panel lifts up. My battery's under here, and these trim parts can be a bit fiddly. You know, it is. I guess the emphasis is on saving weight. So there's my battery in there. But you know, these sort of panels can be a little bit fiddly. You know, you don't see this stuff every day, so it's fine. But I do think in the 981, you can just see they've put that little bit of extra detail, and that just it seems a much better plastic trim around there. Small things, I know, you know. These are drivers' cars, and it's not about the. But it's sometimes the bits that you can't see that tell you what the engineers are thinking. So if you have a look at how the airflow here, let's get the right angle. You can see here, there's a big lip here, which will stop any airflow. Put some comments below to tell us which one you think is your favourite car. And, you know, obviously I know I've got sort of conscious bias. I'm trying to be as sort of open-minded as possible. I own the 987 Gen 2 on the right over there. But, hey, you know what? Getting them up close by, side by side, it's something you never get to do, because if you go to a dealership, they're always going to be selling the latest generation. So if you go into a Porsche dealership now, you might find a few 981s lying around, all compared against the 718. But these are the Caymans you want. These are the ones with a natural aspirated 6-cylinder, that flat 6 boxer engine. Man, I'm getting excited here just looking at these two cars. I'm overwhelmed. I'm really grateful to 911 Virgin for letting me come down and film these cars. Will, if you're watching, I've got your email. We'll do a video together. Will's a guy that's got a Porsche Cayman. He's left me some comments. Wants to get in on a production. We'll feature his car. We'll pop down and do some stuff on his car. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Leave the comments as below. I'm trying to grow the subscriber base, so if you like this video, send it around to anyone that you'd know who likes Porsches, particularly the Caymans over here. Enjoying life and cars to the max. See ya.